Did you ever notice? The more you pursue something, the more it gets away. You hustle, push, grind for your aspirations. Yet the more you push, the more life pushes back. But this is the paradox. When you finally quit pursuing, is when all things start to come to you naturally. It is like a magnet. The tighter you grip, the more it repels you. But the moment you release, the magnet pulls everything to you. Naturally, or consider a plant. You can water it, observe it, fret over it every hour. But it only flourishes when you stand back and let nature do its thing. That is the power of surrendering to the flow. So you get to choose, keep forcing, or have faith that what is intended for you will come in its time. The Stoics got this. They believe that the moment you cease resisting, you begin magnetizing. So how do you bring your desires into being without pursuing, without pushing, and without worrying about every little thing? Let's get into the first principle, detach from the outcome. We're all about results, getting a job, reaching a target, creating a relationship. But this is the reality. The more you fixate on results, the more resistance you build. Epictetus put it best. Do not seek for things to happen the way you want them to. Rather, wish that what happens happens as it should, and you will be happy. Happiness, then, isn't about controlling life. It is about going with the flow of life. Having faith in the timing, believing that what is meant for you will arrive. And when you release the outcome, something magical occurs. You allow yourself to respond with clarity, ease, and confidence. I'll provide you with a true example. A friend of mine, let's say her name is Lily, was going crazy to achieve a career milestone. She worked day and night, but nothing was happening. Fed up, she consulted her mentor for guidance. His answer was straightforward. Work on delivering your best today. Let go of the result. Have faith that it will happen when it is supposed to. When Lily ceased fixating on the how and when, she redirected energy, and gradually, opportunities started to come her way. Shortly, Lily's life came together. Things began falling into place seamlessly. So how do you let go of the outcome? 1. Faith. Keep your attention on your actions. Give today your best effort, without worrying about when the results will arrive. 2. Faith. Release perfection. Have faith that what occurs is supposed to occur. 3. Faith. Remain present. Don't get caught up in the future. Have faith in the timing of life. Separating from results doesn't equal quitting. It equals loving the journey, living in the present, and not trying to control everything. And when you do that, the outcomes you've been striving for come into being so naturally. Next up, let's discuss the second principle. Master your mindset. Here is a solid fact. Your thoughts create your world. Each day, you are bombarded with distractions, anxieties, and tensions. But the one thing you can control at all times is your mindset. A clear, centered mind draws solutions to you. A frantic, reactive mind only keeps you stuck in stress and confusion. This isn't about pretending life is smooth sailing. It is about facing challenges with clarity and strength. Because when your mind is at peace, you become more creative, more resourceful, and more receptive to opportunities. Marcus Aurelius was known to have said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Consider that. Your happiness isn't dependent upon circumstances. It is a result of how you think about them. When your mind is clouded with doubt, fear, and negativity, achievement is out of reach. But when you think from a place of clarity, optimism, and concentration, you naturally gravitate towards the life you desire. Let me tell you a story. There was a woman I know. Let's call her Rachel, whom I always found stuck in stress, overworked, overwhelmed, and perpetually stressed about the future. One day, something changed. Rather than allowing stress to govern her life, she started mastering her mindset. She practiced mindfulness every day. She rewrote her thoughts. Rather than dwelling on what could go wrong, she concentrated on what she could control. Her actions, her reactions, her attitude. With time, her anxiety dissipated. Possibilities emerged where previously she only saw impediments and obstacles. They became her instructors rather than her adversaries. So how do you control your mind? Step 1. Know your thoughts. Observe where your mind wanders, because awareness is the key to change. So tell me, what are you thinking about right now? Are you nourishing yourself with positivity or sinking in negativity? Here is the way to get control. First, shift your thoughts. Instead of, "This is too difficult," say, "This is a challenge I will overcome." Second, remain in the present. When you direct your attention on what you have control of today, the future seems much less daunting. At the end of the day, your most valuable resource is a peaceful and concentrated mind. When you command your thoughts, you command your life. Wise choice in thoughts, as your reality is constructed upon them. If this sounds like you, be sure to like and subscribe, as the next principle could potentially be the most vital one, yet number 3. Faith in divine timing. We are living in a speed-addicted world. Fast food, quick results, instant gratification. So if we desire something strongly, we push, we hurry. We attempt to make it happen. But the truth is, hurrying creates errors. It closes your eyes to lessons, to details, to concealed chances that might change your direction. It is within stillness, within waiting, that the deepest growth occurs. Epictetus taught, "No great thing is created suddenly." The most important things, success, wisdom, love, self-improvement, won't be rushed. They take patience, persistence, and faith. Consider planting a seed. If you keep digging it up every day to see how it is doing, you'll kill it. But if you trust the process and allow it to develop at its own pace, it grows magnificently. I'll illustrate. A friend of mine, let's call her Sophie, was obsessed with success. She pushed herself constantly, forcing every opportunity she could find. But the harder she tried, the more frustrated she became, and every door seemed to close. Eventually, she stepped back. Instead of forcing outcomes, she focused on her growth, building her skills, her network, her patience, and slowly opportunities started appearing naturally. What she had previously attempted to impose started flowing so naturally. Sophie discovered that when she released pushing and rushed, she invited the correct timing in. How do you believe in divine timing then? You release the need to control first. Stop pushing life to fit your timing second. Focus on your growth, not the outcome. Invest in yourself and trust that the right opportunities will appear when you're ready. And finally, be patient. Understand that everything has its time, and rushing only leads to frustration. At the end of the day, trusting in divine timing is an act of faith. When you release and let life unravel, you make room for the things that are supposed to come to you. Don't hurry along. Have faith that everything will come in the perfect time. Number 4. Move with intention, not desperation. Let's discuss the distinction. It is simple to fall into the chaos, particularly when you think time is getting away from you, or that achievement is perpetually just beyond your grasp. In those situations, the urge to perform out of desperation is overwhelming. You push more, you scramble around, you pursue outcomes. But here is fact: desperation drives success away. When you move out of fear or desperation, you only draw more of the same: frustration, confusion, and lost opportunities. True success does not result from frantic energy. It results from peaceful, steady purpose. Consider it. Steady, peaceful action tends to attract success naturally. Success is not force. It is clarity. It is not running ahead of everybody else. It is moving with purpose. When you move with purpose and conviction, people sense it. That energy creates trust and attraction. Desperation always leaves a fingerprint, and people pick up on it immediately. This is where the wisdom of the Stoics comes in. Epictetus used to say, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." That is the substance of meaningful action. Choose who you are becoming, your vision, your values, your purpose, and then walk your talk. If you do this, your movements become more directed, more confident. You are no longer acting out of desperation, but out of alignment and faith in yourself. Let me tell you a story. A friend of mine, let's call him Jack, was doing poorly in his line of work. He worked constantly, pursuing opportunity, seeking to be noticed. But no matter how hard he worked, the outcome never materialized. Then one day he caught himself doing something. He was driven out of desperation. He was so intent on advancing that he had forgotten why he was even working in the first place. So Jack stepped back. He clarified what he wanted, set goals aligned with his values, and began taking consistent, thoughtful steps forward. Over time, opportunities started coming to him, and they felt right. They matched not just what he was chasing, but who he was becoming. So how do you move with purpose rather than desperation? First, get clear on who you are. Define your values and your vision. Second, have faith in the process. One step at a time, trusting each step brings you closer to your destination. And third, move with quiet confidence. Release the rush and trust that success will follow when your actions match your purpose. Ultimately, deliberate action is the formula for long-term success. When you move with consistent intention, you open the door for success to naturally flow to you. Take purposeful action, not desperation, and observe how life starts to work for you instead. If you've made it this far, leave a thank God in the comments, give it a like, and subscribe. Your support is what keeps me going. It motivates me to continue making more content, and I hope these lessons continue to inspire you to keep moving forward. Number 5. Release control. This might be one of the freest things you'll ever adopt. We're living in a day and age where we're always attempting to control everything. Results, circumstances, even individuals who are near us. But this fixation gets us stuck in perpetual anxiety. We worry about what might not work out, ruminate over the future, and battle wars that we can't win. Here is the reality. Fretting over what you can't control is energy wasted. You can't control what other people do. You can't control the weather. You can't even control the future. What you can control is you, your behavior, your attitude, and your reaction to the world around you. When you concentrate on mastering yourself, you liberate yourself from the burden of trying to master everything else. The more you struggle to master the unmasterable, the more stressed and drained you get. But if you turn your attention inward, on your growth, your responses, and your inner peace, life begins to cooperate naturally. Instead of running around in circles, you advance with purpose and clarity. Understanding your strength is not in dominating the world, but how you react to it. Epictetus said it best. Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. Real freedom isn't about dominating everything. It is about surrendering from the need to dominate. Let me give you an example. A woman I know, Anna, was always worried about the future. She worried all the time about things that were out of her hands, how other people perceived her, what would occur in her work if she was doing the right thing. The more she worried, the more trapped she was. One day, she changed her thinking. Rather than attempting to micromanage every aspect of her life, she concentrated on what was within her power. Her daily activities, her routines, her reactions. She slowly felt a lightness. Opportunities arose spontaneously, and she grasped something that changed her entire perspective. When she relinquished control, life moved in directions she could not have anticipated. So how do you relinquish control? First, concentrate solely on what you have control over: your thoughts, your actions, your reactions. Second, let go of needing it to all go exactly as planned. And lastly, accept the unknown. Life is unpredictable, and that is just the way it is. In the end, freedom is found in releasing. When you let go of trying to control it all, you open the doors for peace, expansion, and flow. Life becomes easier when you allow things to happen. Number 6. Emanate the vibration of abundance. This is one of the strongest changes you can implement. We so often pursue what we believe we don't have. More money, more recognition, more success. We live and operate in ongoing pursuit. But here's the reality. Rather than pursuing what you don't possess, live like you already do. When you reflect abundance, you end worrying about what is lacking and instead embracing what is present. This easy change shifts your mindset and reveals fresh possibilities to you. Once you feel like you already have abundance, you start living differently. You become more assured, more directed, and more open to expansion. You no longer wait for outside verification to be abundant. You generate it from within, and that internal richness willfully draws in more into your life. Epictetus had this to say, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." Consider it. Real wealth has nothing to do with limitless accumulation. It has everything to do with accepting that you don't need much. When you live an abundant mindset, you realize that you are already wealthy, and then life just keeps getting bigger. Have everything you need to build the life you desire. This move from scarcity to abundance releases you from the ongoing pursuit, enabling you to enjoy what you already have and to know that more is always in the process. Let me tell you a story. A man I know, let's just say his name was James, was always reaching for something more. He felt that when he reached a certain point, when he had a certain sum of money or success, then he would be satisfied. But the more he reached, the farther away it got. One day he stopped. He decided to live like he already had everything he needed. He began to practice gratitude for what he already possessed, his health, his relationships, his abilities. Gradually, he began to sense something amazing. The more he adopted the vibration of abundance, the more opportunity came to him. He started to draw the very things to him he had been pursuing, but without the desperation or stress. The instant he became abundance, life reflected that energy back to him. So how do you have the energy of abundance? First, be grateful. Think about what you already possess instead of what you don't have. Second, release attachment to results. Have faith that what is for you will arrive, and assume it is already yours. Third, change your thinking. Begin living with the assumption that you already are abundant, and see how your reality starts to mirror that assumption. Ultimately, authentic abundance resides within. When you cease pursuing what you believe you don't have and begin living from a point of already possessing it, your energy changes and you draw everything you want into your life. Occupy the abundance energy and see how your life changes.